Hello and welcome to Leonardo's Watchlist. Today I will show you my full collection of watches, starting from the cheapest to the most expensive watch. All watches I previously reviewed on this channel were once part of my collection, so if you don't see them in this video, it means I sold them. 99% of the time it was to make space for new watches and not because I disliked them. So let me show you my state of the collection. The cheapest watch in my collection is this classic Casio. A light and practical watch I wore a lot when I was a student, but now very rarely take out of the watch box. I mostly keep it for the memories connected to it. This G-Shock of the GMA S-Line is a smaller version of the regular Casio Oak. It fits my 6-inch wrist much better and it's available in many different colors. I choose this one as a lightweight summer watch that can be worn with any outfit. A big downside and why I can't recommend this colorway, the transparent strap started yellowing after a short time, which looks very nasty. Next is the Seagull 1963 bought from AliExpress. I bought it at the beginning of my watch collecting journey and I was fascinated by the hand-wound chronograph movement, which can be seen through the open case back, and to this day I still love to look at it. I own the version with the acrylic crystal, which fits perfectly with the vintage vibe of the watch. You definitely can't go wrong with this one at its low price point. The next two watches are the ones that really got me into the watch hobby. One is the Citizen NY0040, a true classic dive watch even used by the Italian Marines. It's robust, it's cool, it's a bit odd with its crown position, but it wears great on wrist. The other one is the Seiko SKX009. This was my first grey watch. Spending 200 euros on a watch was a big step for me at the time. I loved the look of the Pepsi bezel and Jubilee bracelet, and I'm sure I got heavily influenced by all the watch YouTubers back in the day, but I have zero regrets buying this watch, and like the Citizen, both watches are rarely worn nowadays but will forever stay in my collection. Next is the Boulder Venture Rally 2. Finding a titanium chronograph with a small diameter is very rare, so when this watch was released, I immediately knew it was the right watch for me. Many different dial options are available, but I chose this one because I really like the combination of the beige indices and the grey bluish dial. Thanks to the Seiko Mecha Quartz movement and the titanium housing, this watch is very light and a great tool watch that can take a hit and does not disturb you in whatever you are doing. This Seiko Presage is a very special watch to me. Like everyone, I was amazed by the Grand Seiko Snowflake and Baby Snowflake, but they felt too big on my wrist, and then this watch was released while I was in Japan. It has the perfect size and an amazing white dial with classic case and hands, so I had to buy it. With the sapphire crystal, there's nothing I would want to change, especially not at this price point. Another micro-brand watch in my collection is this Baltic MR01. It has one of the nicest dials ever. The Breguet numerals applied on the textured salmon dial just look amazing. The case and bracelet are nothing special, and I'm not sure how I feel about the flat polished bezel that reflects your face like a mirror. But when turning around the watch, the amazing looking micro rotor movement takes all my worries away. Next is another Seiko. I sold the SPB 143 because the grey dial was a bit too boring for me, although I really like the 62 mass design. So when I found this white dial special edition with the blue bezel and secondhand, I couldn't resist. A true robust diver that can do anything with a special summer watch flavor. Not sure how long I will keep this one, but for now I really like it. I always really liked the fun colors of Nomos watches, but even the 38mm watches had a lug-to-lug of 49mm, so they didn't really fit my wrist. Immediately after this 36mm club in Future Orange was released, I pulled the trigger. It still has very long lugs, but this one I can pull off. I only paid 1000 euros, which is amazing for a German in-house movement and a unique design language. This watch is super thin and light, and with the orange dial it's a perfect summer watch. Next Seiko is a Save the Ocean Special Edition featuring a scaled down version of the iconic Marine Master case. Two things I adore about this watch are the light blue textured dial and the amazing Marine Master case itself. Despite its substantial dimensions, the case is shaped so perfectly with polishing at the right spots and angles, it wears like a 40mm watch. But with the new GMT version, I might flip this one to upgrade. Now to my most worn watch, the perfect daily, the Oris Aquis 39.5mm. It has a sapphire crystal, ceramic bezel, 300 meters of water resistance, a reliable cylinder movement, paired with an elegant look, make this my go-to watch for every day. It's never the wrong choice, it can do everything. I mostly wear it on the rubber strap, but I can always switch it up with the steel bracelet. I 10 out of 10 can recommend this watch. The newest addition to my collection is this Tutima, a brand from Glashütte making mostly dive and tour watches. My wife calls it ugly, I call it unique. A 500-meter diver with an integrated bracelet and on top of that a red dial. I don't know why, but this watch just really speaks to me. Right now I can't say much more, let's see if it's still in the collection in 1 year. The coolest watch in my collection is this Sinn 203 in titanium. It's a diver, it's a chronograph and it's a Flieger at the same time. A tour watch to the maximum. It also has a custom orange chronograph handset done by Sinn, making it even more functional. I probably will never sell this one because getting a new one or something comparable is almost impossible. The Maurice Lacroix Aiken skeleton is a bit of a problem child in my collection. It wears amazing, the build quality is top notch and the Swiss skeleton movement is unrivaled in its price range. What bothers me more and more are the undeniable similarities to the AP Royal Oak. It's not that I have a general problem with homage watches, but at this price point I expect a brand to do more of its own design. So right now I think I will sell the Aiken, although if you don't care about the Royal Oak topic, I can fully recommend this watch. The oldest watch in my collection is this Cartier Pasha from the 90s. A unique watch that really grew on me over time. It was inherited to me by a family member, so it has a special place in my heart. But even without that background, I really like the unique look. It's a great watch to own and to wear for special occasions. Everybody needs a Speedmaster in their collection, some might say. I don't necessarily agree, but I really wanted a Speedmaster for myself. The 42mm Moonwatch was too big, so when looking for an alternative version, I found this compact 40mm Speedmaster Racing. It's a little bit on the thicker side, but that's okay for an automatic chrono, and it wears great on my wrist. Definitely a grail watch for me. Now to my two most expensive watches. First is the Rolex Oyster Perpetual. A simple and classic everyday watch. I struggle to find the right occasion to wear because it's a Rolex. If you want to know more about that, check out my latest review. Nonetheless, to me it's a very close to perfect watch, so I have no intention of selling it. And now the heavy hitter, the new Rolex Explorer 36mm in bicolor yellow gold. I basically bought this watch because I was not really happy with the Oyster Perpetual, and this seemed to be the solution. A Rolex that looks and feels like an expensive watch, and I have to say in the past half year I wore this one more than my Oyster Perpetual. My plan was to try the Explorer and then decide which one I keep, but of course that didn't work out. Although both share a similar style, while one being more subtle and the other one is more flashy, the wearing experience is so different in a good way that I don't know which one I should let go. And that brings me to my personal take on my watch collection. Up front, I'm really happy with my collection. I'm not the guy that needs to check every box when it comes to watch categories. I just buy what I like and what seems to have good value. But of course, there's room for improvement. Each watch in my collection individually is a watch I like to own. But as a whole, I feel like I have a little too many watches, but foremost I would feel more comfortable with less money invested into the collection. This brings me to the strategic question, what will bring me more joy? A few expensive watches or a variation of more affordable watches? I'm not sure what the answer is yet, and my goal is to figure it out in the following year. I will keep you updated on my watch list. If you want to see a full review on any watch in my collection, let me know in the comments. Until then, subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any of that.